So this is going to go along with the adding and subtracting with scientific notation worksheet that we got in class on Friday and started working on. I am going to go through the first 4 and show you how to add or subtract, especially with using our 2 shortcuts of changing the exponent and the decimal place, whether it's the small to big or big to small. So if you're stuck, you can watch these for the first 4, but please make sure afterwards you are writing down the work, you're completing the other problems, and then checking your answers. So looking at the first one. So you can see here that I already have the answers printed. I'm going to show you the work. We are adding these 2 pieces. So remember, when we are adding or subtracting, we always want to make sure that we have the same exponent. So in this case, we have the same exponent, so we don't have to change anything. I can pull my 6 and 9 to the front to add, and I'm going to keep my 10 to the power of 1. If I add 9 and 6, I get 15 times 10 to the first power. But if we want our answer in scientific notation, remember that number has to be greater than 1, but less than 10. And in this case, 15 is larger than 10. So we would need to move the decimal to get a number between 1 and 10. And in this case, when we move that decimal in between 1 and 5, we would add on to our exponent here and get 1.5 times 10 to the second. Now, because we had the same exponent, we didn't have to do any kind of maneuvering with the 6 and the 9. So this is the only set of work that you would need to show for this problem. Now, number 2, you'll notice number 2, number 4, and a couple other on the worksheet have whole numbers not written in scientific notation. So remember, when we have a whole number, if we were to write it in scientific notation, okay, first, this is saying 32 times 10 to the power of 0. Because remember, like we talked about with our exponent rules, anything to the power of 0 is the same as 1, or 32 times 1, which would give us the number back. So what we can do first is, if we were to write it as 32 times 10 to the power of 0, we could change our exponent in our second one here to match. That way we're able to subtract them. So in this case, if I was to subtract from my exponent here to get to 0, I would move my decimal to the right, meaning this would become 21 times 10 to the power of 0. Now I could pull those 2 numbers to the front, 32 minus 21 times 10 to the power of 0. If I subtract, I get 11 times 10 to the power of 0. But we know we have to move that decimal, so it's between 1 and 10. And if I moved it, I would add back to my exponent, and I get 1.1 times 10 to the first. Now, that's one way of changing my decimal place in the second one to get a power of 0. A different way would be to take 32 and make it have a exponent of 1 here. So in that case, it would be 3.2 times 10 to the first minus 2.1 times 10 to the first. I could pull 3.2 minus 2.1 to the front. If I subtract those, I get 1.1 times 10 to the first. And in this case, it's already in scientific notation, so I don't have to do an extra step. Looking at number 3, so they're both in scientific notation. However, we have different exponents, so we would have to change at least one of them. So I'm going to show you both ways again. First, we'll start with if we keep 10 to the power of 0. I would have to change this. If I'm subtracting from my exponent, I'm moving my decimal to the right. So in this case, it would become 30 times 10 to the power of 0. I can add my 7 and 30 and get 37 times 10 to the power of 0. But my number out front is not between 1 and 10, so I would move that decimal back and add 1 on to get 3.7 times 10 to the first. Or maybe you decided to change my 10 to a power of 1 here. So if we do that, if I'm adding to my exponent, I move my decimal to the left. So I would have 0.7 times 10 to the first. I could pull 0.7 and 3 to the front. And this time when we add, we actually get our solution in scientific notation, so we don't have to do that additional step. Okay, I'm going to do one more. So number 4 here. Again, I have a whole number here that is not in scientific notation. So if we were to write this first, we could put 100 times 10 to the power of 0. And what we could do then is change our exponent over here to match. So remember, when we subtract, we move to the right. So this would become 14 times 10 to the power of 0. I could pull my numbers to the front. I could subtract. But 86 is a lot bigger than 10, so we would want to move that decimal back and get 8.6 times 10 to the power of 1. Or we could take 100 and write it to 10 to the power of 1. So if I'm adding to my exponent, I'm going to move my decimal to the left. So in this case, I could actually change it to 10 times 10 to the first. That way I'm matching the same exponent. I could do 10 minus 1.4 in the front. When I subtract, I get 8.6 times 10 to the first, and in this, we have it in scientific notation, so we don't have to do any extra steps. So again, for the rest of the paper, front and back, if you have a number, like we can see down here for number 6, not in scientific notation, remember we can always start by writing it times 10 to the power of 0, and then we can adjust it to match our other exponent in the problem. The answers will be posted on Canvas, however, you will not have the work. You will only have the answers in purple here on the line. So if you're having issues, please make sure you're coming into homeroom to check in.